I'm joined by Rais Sheikh, BMC Municipal Councillor from the Samajwadi Party, YP Singh, lawyer and former IPS officer, Bijon Mishra, consumer activist, Neelam Krishnamurthy, Uphaar case crusader. Also with us is Yogendra Yadav, Swaraj India founder, and Suman C. Raman, a political analyst. And I want to first begin with Neelam Krishnamurthy. Neelam Krishnamurthy, there are obvious parallels between what happened in 1996 in Uphaar and what has happened today, almost 21 years later. There are obvious parallels, and our MPs and our various city bosses are saying, we are ordering a judicial inquiry, a white paper, a this and a that. Now you know how that ends.
Right. I think the answer to this lies not in setting up a judicial inquiry or something. The answer would lie, as the parliament is in session, I would request the government to consider bringing in a law to deal with man-made disaster, Rahul. I've been advocating for this since 2009, because you'll see that these people, although they've charged them with 304 Part 2, that is culpable homicide not amounting to murder, but this charge will, will not be held right up till the Supreme Court, because even in AMR Hospital they charged them in 304, but they cited Uphaar judgment and it was brought down to 304A. So, and you know, for 304A it's a bailable offence, and these people will get bail. So nobody ever goes behind bar. You have seen that in the case of Uphaar fire tragedy, where the Supreme Court allowed the Ansuls to walk free after paying 60 crore rupees for a trauma center. And even the government official, the fire official, was asked to pay 10 lakh rupees in lieu of his sentence. So this verdict has actually emboldened the owners, the occupiers and the government officials to flout all the rules, blatantly violate all the rules, because they know that none of them is ever going to be incarcerated, and if at all a matter reaches the Supreme Court and ends up in conviction, they can actually get away by paying some money.
That's true.
So you're right, Rahul, everything revolves around money.
We know how things work.
You pay money to get the permissions.
Let me bring in Mr. Atul Shah.
Punishment.
That's the problem, Mr. Atul Shah. That's the problem. The problem is that the owners of this entire nightclub, the two of them, are today missing. One lot of owners have been booked, and the police dragged their feet under your government for so long that these individuals have been allowed to run away. They are untraceable. Can you believe it? 14 people dead, others are battling for their lives, and individuals who are so prominent, so easily locatable today are missing once again. Atul Shah.
Rahul, Rahul, I've heard it. Now the thing is, as far as the government is concerned, the Chief Minister has immediately, sacked 5 of them. He has asked the Commissioner of Mumbai Corporation to constitute an immediate inquiry. Now, as far as this corporation's working is concerned, for years together, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, as soon as he came to power, he assumed his office. We blacklisted the contractors who were hitherto.
Why are you giving us slowly? Why are you giving us solutions which should have been taken much earlier? Why are you giving us solutions after the accident? Why don't you intervene before such incidents happen? Why don't you intervene before the incidents happen?
One second, let me make an intervention here. Mr. Shah, let me point out to you,
MP.
with great respect, Mr. Shah, the letters were written to the BMC chief, his deputy. They were not written to the lower underlings, the deputies of deputies of deputies. They were written to the people right at the top. And those individuals today are telling us, lower your voice, don't ask us questions. This is the arrogance, sir. Shouldn't arrogance be punished? I'm asking you, Mr. Shah, are you scared of taking action against the guilty?
Arrogance has... No. Arrogance has no place in public life. Nobody can be arrogant.
Should I play out
has to,
an instance of arrogance?
The thing is,
no, let me play out what the BMC commissioner did today. Let me embarrass him a little bit more. He lives in a very tony district, sir, of Mumbai. A beautiful part of Mumbai. If he were to live amongst the people of Mumbai, he will realize how disgusting the living conditions are for those who are today not privileged enough to pay their way to a better life. Rahul? Let me play out that sequence. This is Ajoy Mehta, the cultured, cultivated Ajoy Mehta. Listen to him. Listen to him. Not even a word of condolence. Not even, I am terribly sorry to hear about this tragedy. 14 people are dead. I really extend my condolences to their family. Instead, he snaps and he says, lower your voice. Lower your voice. Look at him. Listen to him.
Word down, and you are now telling us that you stand like this. This is the way you are talking to us, sir. This is the way you are talking to us, sir. When it is our office that is shut down, sir. It is our office that is know about CMC's sir, part role in this, sir. Sir, every time this cannot be the behavior, sir. And we are being very polite here. So we were being very polite, sir. So we are just being very politely asking you, sir. So we are just very politely asking you.
He's above answering you. He's above answering you. This is the man who runs Mumbai city. Now I want to bring in Mr. Yogendra Yadav. What do you make of this, Mr. Yogendra Yadav?
It's shocking, it's sad, but I do want to bring in a larger perspective because we must remember 1996 Uphaar. We should also remember 2004 Kumbakonam school tragedy, 94 children killed there. We must remember 2011 Emory Hospital, Calcutta, 89 patients killed. Have we learned anything? Rahul, what worries me, I'm no expert, and I think today is the day when we should listen to experts carefully. But what worries me is this, that on day one we are indignant. We and then politicians stand on their head to promise everything. Some small fries are suspended. You know, there appears to be action. But 2 months later, 6 months later, when reports arrive, when things that need to be done are not done, are we attentive? So our indignation today is only matched by our indifference 6 months later. And as someone who is not an expert, who does not know all the facts of the case, I would simply say, look, the broad picture is our urban planning has gone for a toss. Our city governance is in a complete mess. And this is a textbook example. Here you have a situation where the problem was known, well-meaning citizens had pointed out, political representatives had written about it, yet there is indifference. So we are dealing with multiple levels of failure. There is an immediate failure at that site. We don't know all the facts, but clearly there was a terrible violation there. 2, there is a procedural problem in fare safety regulations, inspections and so on. Something was clearly wrong there. 3, there is a structural problem, which goes back 20 years, I believe, in this area. I've been reading architects, city architects who have been writing on it. All the land conversion, the kind of maze and mess the places have become, basically it's lawlessness in the heart of our metro areas. Are we at all serious about it? So my only thing, Rahul, would be, yes, please interrogate these people. Yes, you must ask hard questions. But please remember it 6 months from now as well.
It's a valid point.
Please connect the immediate to the long run.
It's a valid point.
Are our hospitals any one bit safer than they were in 2011 in Calcutta? I'm afraid not. Are our school safety, fire safety norms any better after 2004?
Sure.
No.
Let's get in some more voices.
Rahul, I just want to point out one thing. You know, does the Chief Minister does he not know that fire safety certificates are sold? He doesn't know that. You want to tell me that fire safety certificates are sold at a price Doesn't he know that?
Mr. Shah,
doesn't he know that? When will that stop?
It doesn't take a very informed...
When will that stop?
It doesn't take a very informed citizen to know what is an obvious fact. The mayor, if he doesn't know this much, then he's too naive.
Doesn't he know that lives of innocent citizens are at stake because the approving authorities, the law enforcement authorities are not doing their job? Doesn't he know that? So what action does he want to take today to see that it doesn't happen again tomorrow?
And I
want to know that. Not that you have an incident and then you take action.
When there is fear of accountability, there will also be a call to do something. There will be action taken because they know if they mess up, they're not going to survive a day in the job. Sumansi Raman, you want to come in here?
Yeah, Rahul, this is a systemic failure. This is unfortunately not going to be the last such incident that we are going to see. I know what happened in Kumbakonam in Tamil Nadu. 94 children died and hardly anybody actually faced serious punishment. The smallest people in the chain were the ones who actually even faced the charges. All the big fish were acquitted. Now you have to have this in perspective. Absolutely. What has changed between Uphaar and Kumbakonam and now is it's possibly going to be even more difficult to prosecute some of these people if we are alleging that graft or corruption was one of the reasons for inaction despite so many red flags being raised.
Good point.
And that's because the law is now being amended to actually seek government permission to prosecute these people.
Very good point.
If earlier on you were getting a judgment in 10 years, it's probably going to take 15 years to even prosecute these people. So I think that a society that puts money above the value of human life, I think we have to do some serious introspection, and it's not
the Lower Parel area attracts 5 lakh crores of investment and contributes a significant chunk to Mumbai's revenue stream. And the people living there live a nightmare, Mr. Shah, and the point that is being made is a very, very solid one. Why isn't your government taking action against those that sit right at the top and take the decisions? Why is it that we always see...
Take action.
You know, I'm entitled to my indignation today because we will follow up this. No, we are asking you. I'm asking you, why haven't you still suspended the BMC chief? Is it because he's a particularly favorite of the chief minister? And look at the tragedies he has...
5 officers are suspended. No.
5 officers, sir.
Not officers.
One has been transferred, if you like. 5
officers are suspended.
No. One has even been transferred. So he can continue his slothful ways in another barrio, district of the city.
5 lakh square feet you are talking about, even in this...
Why doesn't accountability start at the top, Mr. Shah? I'm asking a simple question. 14 people are dead, more could die, God forbid, more could die.
Yes.
So why doesn't it start at the top?
That is the reason the chief minister has constituted, and not only that,
he's constantly constituting committees.
Whole Parel area.
At the Elphinstone station, warning signs ignored. People died because they were suffocated in a stampede, which you ignored.
Why don't you understanding the baggage
Nothing is going to change, Rahul. I don't think we should kid ourselves.
65 years. Now as far as...
Sir, please.
No, we cannot.
Let's not blame the past. This is a new building. This is a new construction. This is not a 64-year-old. This is not a 65-year-old independence era building. This is a very new construction. The mills are being opened up on a daily basis.
Commuting in Mumbai, more than 80 lakh people are traveling from in the suburban locals. Did not the government think of it? So that Devendra government was the first to come and have
Mr. Shah, you are defending the indefensible tonight. I am going to open this out to callers. We are going to take some viewers. We are going to ask very simple questions tonight. I want to ask you, do you condone the arrogance of your state officials?
Society.
Sir,
there
please.
Are violations. I'll tell you, there is a turf, there is a football ground on the terrace.
So stop it.
So small.
So stop it.
Everything is.
If you can see it, stop it.
Now all the violations will be looked upon. I assure you.
How can you ignore that?
You have to stop it.
I'm shocked. Rais Sheikh,
no relaxation.
Rais Sheikh, BMC municipal councillor from the Samajwadi Party who was quite angry today steps into this. Rais Sheikh and YP Singh are both there with us.
Not only for Kamlami.
Okay, Rais Sheikh.
Showing this whole
don't give us this laundry list. No, don't give us this laundry list. To do something about the laundry list.
But nobody will be spared. This is what my Chief Minister has assured this afternoon, and he's working in
every time he's jolted out of his slumber, he assures us something. Buildings collapse, Bhendi Bazaar, people perish. He then wakes up and says, I will take care. Go on, Mr. Rais Sheikh.
Around more than 94 people have lost their life this year because of fire and building collapse. And this is the Chief Minister who's the chief of the UD department. And Commissioner is the nominee of the UD department. Today what has happened is in the heart of the city, the smart city of the BJP. And I can tell you everybody knew what's happening in the Kamla Mill compound. There were big vested interests over here. And today, by just suspending 5 junior officers, the Chief Minister and his team has actually made a mockery of the entire system. And Arvind Sawant was live in some time back. Let me tell you, I'll give him the MMC Act in some time. I'll send him the copy. If Shiva Sena and BJP is so serious about the city, let them bring a no confidence motion against the officers. We all will support.
Exactly.
Unless you make this a criminal offence, unless the officers are charged with criminal offences, this will not stop.
There you
Mr. Atul Shah, you're taking credit for suspending 5 officers. Do you know what Mumbai is facing? 94 people have lost life in your governance. You are not capable of governing this city.
It is the lawlessness.
Mr. Atul Shah, your BJP and Shiv Sena have become incapable of running this city. Except that 20 years in power, you have made Mumbai
about my Chief Minister.
A death trap.
The sincerity of this Chief Minister.
A death trap you have made. You are responsible for that, Mr. Atul Shah. There is zero compliance in this city. The corruption and bribery in BMC is because of y'all.
Then if the responsibility has to be held right from the days of Congress government, I don't want to go into the blame game. Now what we have
bring
to
a no confidence motion, Atul Shah, I will support.
All the illegalities
on Times Now Live, I'm telling you, I will support a no confidence motion.
But in as far as this Chief Minister is concerned, he is so sincere to solve the problem of the city. He is working day and night.
Mr. Shah,
Mr. Shah, Chief Minister giving to the city
Mr. Shah, he needs to work with efficacy. Long hours don't matter. He needs to work with efficacy. Now, 1 minute. Let's not hide behind facile pretexts and excuses and give each other, long-winded certificates. I just want to bring in Mr. YP Singh. Mr. YP Singh, you have handled a lot of these sensitive posts. Tell us what's going on. Tell us, sir, what's going on. Insider's perspective. Tell us.
This is a blatant act of corruption. I have seen several files, dozens of files of the BMC. The corruption starts at the Chief Minister level. He posts his chosen people in very, very critical positions, and from there, once these officers get posted, they get assured impunity from the Chief Minister, and they start indulging in blatant corruption. Mr. Ajay Mehta already had a modus operandi whereby he would meet builders off and on just when his file would go on for concessions. Many of the laws have been waived in favor of builders which violated the mandatory provisions of National Building Code of India Part 4, and it is from there when Mr. Ajay Mehta indulges in corruption, the junior says, why not me? And then the still junior says, why not me? And the lowest officers say, when seniors are earning, why shouldn't I earn? Now, the cancer of corruption has spread from the level of the Chief Minister down onwards, and this is just a manifestation, just one incident. There will be hundreds more like that, and I think the entire system of rule of law has collapsed because of corrupt activities of the entire state government and the municipal corporation.
There you go. I think Mr. Yadav wants to make a point. Mr. Yadav,
how can you
1 minute
destroy the Chief Minister?
I just wanted to say, Rahul, I'm glad you had Mr. YP Singh here. This is the kind of voice we need to hear. The easiest thing for me today would be to say blame BJP, blame this particular chief minister. I have no love for that party, as you know. But I think to be honest and to be serious and to actually take cognizance of the tragedy that we are confronted today, the least we should say is, irrespective of what the chief minister, what the party is, there is a deep rot within. There is a deep rot which begins with the top political office and goes down to the local fire inspector and what have you. And that is what we need to correct. And to my mind, the real answer is once you start investigating of the kind that you have done today, yes, please catch hold of the rulers of the day. Yes, please put them on spot, but please follow it up. That's the only request I would
follow it up. We are committed to following it up. We have done several follow-ups on the Elphinstone flyover tragedy, and we can tell you today, nothing has actually changed on the ground there. But I want to come to you, Mr. Shah. You are very agitated. You are very agitated, aren't you? Extremely agitated today.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Because here is a
But for what? You are not agitated that 14 people have died. You are agitated because people are asking inconvenient questions of your party and your chief minister. That's what is getting to you.
And that is bothering you more than the life of the citizen.
Have you forgotten now to answer questions?
Inconvenient questions will come. It has to come. No, I'm answering question. When 14 people die, definitely the questions will come to us.
Come on, sir. It's not just 14 people. Someone has pointed out that 94 people have died in just 1 year in Mumbai. They are drowning. They are falling into potholes. They are trapped under the rubble of collapsed buildings.
The chief minister, they are being
totally different chief quashed to death in train stations.
The people of Mumbai have seen. The people of Maharashtra have seen. And here, you're holding the chief minister responsible for this. On the contrary,
and I'm not even talking about the agrarian crisis, sir. And I'm not even talking about the agrarian crisis.
The minister should answer to this. Why did he post in there?
I don't say about the agrarian. I'm talking about the urban area, about the city of Mumbai.
So how are you protecting yourself? I mean, how can you protect yourself from such incidents?
You can't. You can't. The point is, we have been left, we have been abandoned to the mercies of the first deal that is struck between a colluding corporator and a businessman. So you're fleeced, you're cheated, and then you're sent to your death. That's what is happening. Let's be honest, Mr. Shah. Come out, be honest. Say yes, there is corruption. People are taking money under the table to look the other way.
Correct. Definitely there is corruption.
What are you doing about it, sir?
Of the administration.
3 years you've been in power. If you know so much, where is the action? Who is being arrested? Who is going to jail? Nobody.
Of things have been done. This is what in the beginning I
Name
told you.
3 things that have been done, sir. You tell me what has been done after the Elphinstone tragedy. Tell me, sir. Give me an account. Give me an account.
The magnitude of this corruption is so high.
Give me an account, sir, of what has happened after Elphinstone. Give me an account. Should I give you the account or will you give me the account? Give me the account.
This was the most sincere government. The central government, in as far as this bridge was concerned, we immediately gave the work to the army to make the bridge, so that immediately the people of Mumbai will get relief. Now,
how many bridges is the army making?
The chief minister.
How many bridges are the army making, sir? Are they going to make all the bridges across all the stations of Mumbai? You know the situation.
All the bridges, that whole program, 27 bridges on the Central Railway and 24 bridges on the Western Railway have been finalized, and they're going to be completed by April.
They have been finalized, completed by April. Sir, tell me one thing. I asked you to tell me about who has been held to account. Who has been held to account for what has happened? You name me 4 officials who are going to go to jail for the tragedy at Elphinstone.
The war officer is changed.
You tell me. You tell me today, sir. You tell me.
There the inquiry has, the report has come out. So you cannot,
Inquiry report. Inquiry report.
Was commissioned.
Do you want me to speak to Ms. Krishnamurthy here? She will tell you about inquiries and the facility of inquiries. Let me go across to Ms. Neelam Krishnamurthy. Ms. Krishnamurthy, what happens to these inquiries?
The sincerity of this government.
What happens to these facile inquiries, Ms. Krishnamurthy?
All those inquiries, they only collect dust. The inquiry reports only collect dust, that's all. Nothing else goes beyond it.
Absolutely.
And even if people are prosecuted, they ensure that the trial can go on for decades. And because of that, finally when they're convicted, the Supreme Court lets you walk free because you're old. So nothing really happens in this country. The only thing I can say that people talk about corruption at high level and say maybe you can talk about 2G, you can talk about coal scam and other corruption cases. But corruption at this level, actually, it plays with human lives. Don't forget that. You're taking corruption, you're taking money, you're issuing the NOCs. Because of that, those NOCs, these public spaces are allowed to operate. And because of that, people lose their life. You're endangering human life. Don't these people have a conscience?
Okay, well, when a case like the 2G can end in exemptions, when a high-profile case where the entire attention of the nation and the media ended in acquittals, the 2G case, what is the chance of people being convicted when buildings collapse? When bridges collapse? What a joke! What a joke this country is being reduced to. I want to go across to Mr. Anil, who is calling in from Mumbai. Mr. Anil, go ahead, sir.
Hello, I'm calling from Cochin actually. I'm calling
Cochin.
From
Terribly sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's all right. Actually, you need a preventive measures actually, sir. You need a safety board. Yeah, and the best thing you can do is to have a safety board. Now you have in the long run when you have rains, you have manhole problems. So all these things you have to actually have a preventive safety board.
Okay. Sunny calling in from Mumbai. Go ahead, Sunny.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, whatever has happened right now. What are the major issues which have happened today? Are there any kind of remedies, any kind of precaution that the agency will take further in the future? I think the same incident is going to happen again and again.
Well, sir, going by the past, I'm afraid to say I don't think anything is going to change. Anuradha also calling from Mumbai. Go ahead.
Hello, sir. This is still the case so far. Like, nothing has been improved. So maybe the government should take action because we are not feeling safe. That's it.
Absolutely. I think you can hear the anguish in the viewer today. There is a tragedy that has unfolded in Mumbai. The individuals who ran this establishment, flouting norms allegedly, are today on the run. They're connected people. We will reveal on the news hour their connections, how they are known to top politicians. Both these bar owners and investors have deep and abiding links to political parties and top VIPs. With that said, I don't believe anything is going to really happen here which will yield any form of justice. We leave it at that. On the news hour, more revelations coming up with Anand Narasimhan.